Good afternoon, my fellow off-gridders. Welcome to Off-Grid 12-volt solar prepping. Today I'm going to finish wiring my solar panels in series. Okay? Now, the way we do that, we take the two inside wires, we take one negative and one positive. We connect them together. Okay? Now, they're connected in series. Alright? One negative to one positive. But that's how that goes for series. So now all I gotta do is connect it to my solar system. Okay, right back. Okay, we're back. Now I'm just gonna connect my PV wires. These cables are photovoltaic cables. These are not the same cables as these. These are just silicone insulated cables. These cables are insulated with photovoltaic resistant materials. These are resistant to sunlight, to snow, to rain, to hail, to heat, to coal, to grease, and probably gasoline also. Yes, they are. So these are virtually not indestructible, but they're made for the outside environment. Okay, now let me wire these into my breaker. Positive into the positive, negative into the negative. Okay, now connection. Positive to the positive, negative to the negative. Wait a minute, it's not going in. It's a little too tight. Go out here and see what's going on. Okay, there you go. Slide these down a little more into the sun. All right. Now my breaker is off, so even though the panels are making current, there's voltage going through the panels. Right now, it's not going into my system. So first, let me turn it on through here to the battery, going in, breaker, breaker's on, back off. Okay, 14 point something volts going into the battery. Okay, now I'll just have to break all this down. All right, we have, see if you can see it. Okay, we have 14.4 volts coming out of the charge controller. As you can see, 14.4 volts coming out of the charge controller. And it's going down into the battery. Going in the battery. I don't have the inverter turned on because I don't have a load. So there's no need for the battery to be turned on. And here's my board here. This is all my sockets for my electrical devices. Okay? Not very complicated. Okay, just to show you, I turned on my inverter, Nova panel inverter. Okay, turned it on. And here is my battery monitor. Battery monitor tells you what the battery has in it going on. Charge controller tells you what's happening also. Solar panels sending current into the battery. Okay. As I said, I don't have any load coming out because I have nothing plugged in. So just to demonstrate, I'll put this light bulb in there. There you go, light bulb. That's considered a load. I have used this with my microwave. This has cooked the dinner with my white microwave. I have used this with my toaster oven to make French fries and fish sticks. Yes, those 2,000 watts. It is not joking. It does kick out that much power. Okay, so back to what this is all about. This is all about series connection. As I said, when you're doing things in series, it's not very complicated. Okay? When you're doing it in series, it's basically you're just not running the positive to the. If you were doing parallel setup with your panels, you would be doing positive to positive, negative to negative, and straight on in to the charge controller. Now, the benefit of that is that if you have your panels slightly covered by the sun, it won't have such an effect on it as it will with series. If you have your panels in series, if one of them is covered by the sun partially, whatever the voltage is on that one, that's going to be the same voltage on the next one, or how many panels you got. Whatever the lowest voltage is on your string of panels, that's what they all going to read. That's the disadvantage of series. When you're using parallel, that doesn't happen. But the disadvantage with parallel is that the amps go up. For every panel you have, the amps is multiplied. So if you got 8 amps on there, 2 panels, you got 16. 4 panels, you got 32 amps. What does that mean? Your wires are getting thicker and thicker and thicker, which means more money, more money, more money. If you're using it in series, which I do and most people do, series, the amp stays the same, the voltage goes up. Voltage is not current, so voltage does not carry the load. You could have all the panels you want, and you're still not going to have a thick cable. If you have four panels, and your voltage is say like 19 or 20 volts per panel, that would be 80 volts added up. But when you have 8 amps per panel, you're still going to have 8 amps per panel. If you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the amps don't change, which means you'll have a regular skinny little wire like a 10 or 8, 10 or 12 or 8 gauge wire, like 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 panels. When if you did it in parallel, you'd be like heading up to a 4 cable in no time. So that's the benefit, and trust me, those cables are big, fat, and they're heavy. Like this right here is a 4 oct. This is a lot of copper. See that? That's 4 oct. That's a lot of copper. And each penny size is a penny. So just count $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 more. You don't want that. So anyway, that's how it goes. So that's the lesson for today. I hope you learned something. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and get my next video. Okay? So all my off-grid preppers, thank you for watching this episode of off-grid 12-volt solar preppers. Okay. Until next time, be safe. Bye-bye.